to another exciting edition of Big Time Tuesday, right here at the Sarah Stevenson Tuesday Forum. My name is Winston Robinson. I am your facilitator today, along co-facilitators, Ms. Laura McClellan, Ms. Carlene Ivory, Ms. Jackie Edwards-Walton, our timekeeper, Ms. Natalie McElrath, Ms. Mary Johnson, Mr. Shay Abdullah, Mr. Gary Young, Ms. Jasmine Wright, our chaplain, Ms. Sarita Sherrill, our website editor and archivist, Mr. Steve Johnston, and a one-man house band, Dr. Thomas. Come on now. Our forum runs from 8:30 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., at which time we will pause for announcements from the audience. Announcements can also be sent to Steve at sjohnston, that's Johnson with a T, at TuesdayForumCharlotte.org. As it is tradition, we open every forum with a prayer. We will ask the bishop, Mr. Ken Coombs, to lead us in a word.
The bishop has conceded.
Oh, the bishop has conceded to Associate Pastor, Mr. Patton. Mr. Private Pat, we will have you lead us in a word. Gerald Pat, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, as somebody who was called his father often, my apologies.
Thank you, Bishop. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to bring us forward this morning to discuss the issues of our community, Lord. Thank you for your traveling grace, for allowing us to make it through this weather to this destination safely, Lord. Lord, as we go into this session today, Lord, let's be mindful of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, where Paul writes to the Corinthian church. He reminds us that we each are each party of the body of Christ. When there's division in the body, Lord, we all have to come on one accord. That we each have our own role to play, Lord. That each part of the body has its own particular specific goal and need to meet, Lord. God, we ask that the panelists this morning, Lord, that they continue to do what they do in the community, that whatever the outcome may be, that it will not stop them from moving forward and accomplishing their goals and tasks. God, I'd like to acknowledge and ask that you continue to bless the facilitators of this great forum. They give tirelessly of their time each and every week to bring us something constructive, productive, and that will meet the need of the people. These and other blessings we ask in your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. The sultry prayer voice of Mr. Gerald Van. Thank you for the sultry prayer. If we have any guests for the first time, please introduce yourself and any affiliation. Come on.
How's everybody doing? My name is Samir Hamid. I'm born and raised in Charlotte. I'm actually running as an unaffiliated candidate for mayor, so I got this petition to sign so that I can get on the ballot for the first time ever. I'm representing the young people of Charlotte. You know, they say millennials will never vote, they'll never show up. I think the average voter age is 65 here, and the average citizen age is 34. So, yeah, I'm taking my leadership. I've been an entrepreneur in Charlotte for 13 years, printed shirts, telling stories of local brands. We work with 20% of the Fortune 500 companies here, helping tell their stories, primarily in like employee resource groups and diversity initiatives. So I'm a lifetime resident, and I love to lead. So appreciate y'all having me.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Being here.
Good morning, my name is Danté Anderson, and I'm new to Charlotte. Got here just last Friday. I'm here to learn a little bit about the city, so I'm here this morning. I'm originally from California, but I moved here from Mobile, Alabama.
What a path. California to Alabama to Charlotte. Man. All right, welcome to you both. Please join us. We're here pretty much every Tuesday out of the week except Election Day and holidays that happen to fall on Tuesdays. Following our presentation, we will take questions from the audience. Please raise your hand and we will add your name to a list if you have questions. I will call on you in the order in which your name was added to said list. Questions should be no longer than 30 seconds, and responses should be no longer than 2 minutes initially. We'll cut that down as time goes by. Questions should be questions. The answer you receive is the answer you will have to accept. We do not go back and forth. We do not debate. We abide by the West Side Rules of Order, in which it is what it is. We have a timekeeper, Ms. Natalie McElrath, who will signal 30-second warning and necessary time's up if the time limits are met. Without further ado, we have Councilperson Danté Anderson, the incumbent for District 1, and we have a candidate, Ms. Charlene Henderson, also running for City Council District 1. We will give you, how much was that?
3 minutes.
3 minutes for an introduction. Tell us about yourselves, and from there we will go to questions. Without further ado, we'll start with the,
Ms. L.
oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Lilly. We have a moment for silence as we take out our phones and put them on silent. Don't be the one. It always happens. Miss Blanche, Miss Ivory, Miss Ivory, here, you gotta remind Miss Ivory when she gets here. All right. So Miss Henderson, we'll start with you. 3 minutes for your introduction, please.
Hopefully I will not need 3 minutes.
Need everybody. You've been here long enough. We got a streaming audience. We need these microphones.
Okay. I said hopefully I would not need the 3 minutes. My name is Charlene Henderson, and I am a candidate for City Council District 1. I come to you just because I'm not just a candidate. I'm a citizen. I am a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a small business owner. And those things are very important to this great city of Charlotte. I'm trying to make sure I get tapped in, all because we need transparency, we need accountability, and we need someone who is proven, someone who shows up, someone who cares about the communities that we do live in. Not saying that my opponent does not. I'm just making sure that we have an opportunity, a fair shake at what's going on in our city. And we need that diversity. We need someone who has a common sense approach. I don't come with a lot of policies at this moment, but I guarantee you I come with the mind of the people having a mindset of growth in fairness and all-togetherness. These are the things that I'm looking for. My platform, it speaks for itself. It's also a tap. We're talking about the transportation issues that we have. We're talking about the unaffordable housing. It says affordable, but who is it really truly affordable for? And we have to start asking ourselves these questions and start to look for these answers. And not only unaffordability, we need to make sure that public safety is at the top of our list. Without public safety, we do not feel safe going to and from different spaces and places, from work to home. It's a lot of things going on here, a lot of crime, a lot of violence, and we want to see how we're able to make a difference through our voice, not just someone sitting there telling us that this is what we need to do. Well, we need to be at the same table, making the same decisions right along with everyone else who has those powers to be. So I am Charlene Henderson, running for City Council District 1. And again, I'm for our people. And I'm asking you to just tap me in.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Councilwoman. Councilperson Anderson.
Thank you, and good morning, Sarah Stevenson's Tuesday Morning Forum. My name is Danté Anderson. I am the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Charlotte, and I represent District 1, and I always love to say, welcome to District 1 when we're sitting in District 1. I am a Charlotte native, born and raised, born in District 1. I'm a CMS educated student, educated in District 1. And I've been humbled to serve District 1 for the last 2 terms. I ran initially on a platform of opportunity, and it's pretty simple to follow. There are 3 tenets to it. The first one is the opportunity to earn a more livable wage, because it starts with economics. The second piece is the opportunity to access housing that is more affordable. We know that housing and rents are skyrocketing, and we need to do everything we can to bring mixed forms of housing to District 1 and the rest of the city of Charlotte. And the last tenet of my platform is the opportunity to live and thrive in safer communities. What we know is that when communities are thriving and people are excited and there are things going on, that staves off crime. So we've been focused on that for the last 2 terms. But I also want to share with you just a little bit about my vision for Charlotte, because it's more than just me. The secret is out. Charlotte is a world-class city. We have well over 100 people moving to the city every single day. And I envision that we have a Charlotte where the environment is vibrant. We have plenty of economic development. We have a robust arts community. We have endless possibilities for our young people. And those are the aspects, those are the building blocks that are going to help us ensure that we have an incredible District 1, but also an incredible Queen City. And as we know that Charlotte is a world-class city, world-class cities have world-class challenges, small and large. And we need to make sure that we have leaders who can assess those challenges, identify with those challenges, and then stand up solutions to address those challenges, both small and large. You can follow me on Danté Anderson CLT on any platform, learn more about my background as it relates to my civic engagement and my over 25 years of experience in corporate America, leading and managing billion-dollar budgets, standing up jobs, and creating community vitality on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
All right, we have Mr. Kuntz with the first question, then Ms. Dr. Blanche Penn and Ms. Jackie Edwards-Walton.
I always shudder with a certain degree of comic relief when I hear folks flash around the name world class, because your flights fly globally does not make you a world class city. My question is, what in your view is a world class city, and give me the definition of a world class city, naming the 5 issues that make you such.
Question for me?
For both of them.
Oh, okay.
Is that corn?
Tell you what, so we'll alternate from this point. If you have questions for each panelist, we'll just alternate if the question is for both. Yeah, so we'll alternate. So this time, Ms. Henderson, you'll go first. Next time, Mayor Pro Tem, you'll go first.
Even though I know that this is a wonderful city, I've never classified it as world class. I know that we have our differences. We have 2 tales of Charlotte. There's one that is affluent, and then you drive 5 minutes down the road, then you have one that is impoverished, one that is dilapidated, one that has a lot of issues going on. So world class can have different meaning to it. I know that we have our own situations going on for us, economic development. We have those individuals who are looking to be a part of the world class but do not afford that, cannot afford it. I can't express to you as much as I can to say, hey, listen, how can we all be a world class if we do not have equal opportunity and have access to the same resources as some? Those are things that I am looking for, and I do have some common sense approach to the situations and solutions to those issues. But right now, I'm standing as a citizen looking at what world class truly looks like. And I know that my opponent will be able to expound upon it, but I'm looking for something that has a common sense approach, something that we all can partake in and be a part of the world class.
Well, thank you for the question. The first piece is that you are a city of destination. And without a shadow of a doubt, Charlotte is a city of destination. People are moving to Charlotte, but more importantly, people are visiting our city. Because the second piece of that is that you have a robust vibrancy of culture. Charlotte has incredible culture, from our foods, from an arts environment. People come here because they want to take in what we have to offer. The third piece of it is that you have a swath of diversity. And so from East Charlotte to, you go all the way on the north side in the university area, you have so many cultures and diversities that are there. They are seeking out Charlotte for a reason, because the fourth piece is that we have economic vibrancy. We have jobs across the board. Whether you have a 2 or 4 year degree, Charlotte was just actually named as top 5 of cities with great jobs. So the state of North Carolina is number 1 in terms of business. Charlotte is a top 5 city in the United States for jobs. That's incredible because, again, as I told you, it starts with money. And then the fifth piece, we have to say it. Councilmember Brown, Charlotte Douglas Airport. Our airport is a jewel, not only for our city, not only for our state and region, it is a global jewel. It's amazing where you can go to and from, how many people come through the city of Charlotte and spend time in our airport. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Blanchpin here. As a researcher, I want to just make sure that we're researching what we need to. And I'm real concerned about this taxes. And then I've been to a lot of those workshops and I've heard people speak about it, for it, against it. But how can we do something that's for the rails and not for the people that's out on the street homelessness? That's one of the biggest problems for me. And after reading it, there's so much stuff in there that we don't understand. So how in the world are we gonna put it on the ballot? So my question to you, how can you actually vote for something you want to put on the ballot and say, let the people vote? But how are we going to make sure that the people know? I brought my brother here so that he can also listen. James, he's over there. He don't know anything about it. Yes, the ones who come out. So my question to you is, how are you going to really say, you're sitting on that board, you have to vote yes or no? Tell me, how have you made that decision?
Shout out to James. I should tell you in the bus like that.
Well, welcome, Brother James, to Sarah Stevenson's forum. For me, my vote is not tomorrow night. We've already voted. So the city of Charlotte, as well as all of the towns, have voted. And every city, every council member, and every elected official in all the towns, with the exception of Matthews, has voted for this referendum to put it forward to the people of the Queen City and Mecklenburg County. The last piece of it are the Board of County Commissioners who will vote to put this forward, and we'll see how they vote. But every single entity in the city, in the Mecklenburg County, has voted yes to put this forward. I can tell you why I voted for yes. We're behind. We just talked about Charlotte being a world-class city, hundreds of people moving here on a weekly basis. We need a robust transportation system. We are incredibly behind. Charlotte is targeted to be, within 10 years, a top 10 city within the United States of America. We can't have all of that growth come here and not have money to invest in our roads and invest in light rail and a robust bus system. So we need to start somewhere. I don't believe that this plan is absolutely perfect. I believe it's a start. And so it's up to those individuals, if it does pass, if the county commissioners does say, let's put it on the ballot, and then the residents of Mecklenburg County say, yes, this is something we need to lean into and invest, then it's up to those members who will be on that transit authority to manage the growth of our transportation system.
Would you like to respond? Oh, well, I can. So we're talking about this 1 cent tax, and I have to expound upon the issue is that this is going to be on us for the rest of our lives. And those are the things that we need to really resonate with. I'm not against growth. Smart growth, yes, I love it. But when we're dealing with our pockets, what we're going through right now, it's hard on us. How can we be inclusive? What is it that we need in order to make sure that we're having the same opportunities? And I can't express it enough. We have to understand what we're reading. Break it down to us. I'm coming from a community standpoint. Break it down to the simplest form so that we all be a part of the conclusion of, yes, this is for us. This is going to make our city a world-class city. But we want to be able to get around the exact same ways that everyone else do. Allow us to be at the table when it starts, that everything is always, we've already voted on it. So again, there's a lack of transparency in areas that we definitely need to pay attention to. So I'm listening. I'm focused on it. And I want you guys to be focused on it, because if we just keep allowing things to keep passing and we're not a part of it, then that's a problem on you. So I have to sometimes turn the table back on you. What are you doing in order to make sure that this is affordable for everyone, that we have equal access, and there's a fairness across the board? Those are the things I want to make sure we start realizing. Economic growth is for everyone, but do we have real opportunities for it?
Good morning. Thanks so much for being here. Let's say that the 1 cent tax is going to pass, and that you live in one of those 6 corridors of opportunity. What is it? What should be our ask? Those of us along those corridors, what should be our ask? So that we will have full participation in that process.
Ms. Henderson, I believe it's on you.
What is the ask for the 1 cent tax? Will you be able to get on it? Is there a place where you're able to get on it from your destination, or will it bypass you? Will it go straight through from where you live to uptown? I do believe that they're bringing in all different types of municipalities, different counties. It's gonna, and I've seen it. I've seen how they've drawn the line through there. Is there an opportunity for you to take part in it? I have to bring it back on you. Is it an opportunity for you to be able to jump on there, have fun, and go visit the shops and enjoy life? Are you one of the ones that are barely making it through? So we have to start asking the questions, and if you're not, then why not? We have to bring those questions back. I don't have all of the answers, but I do have a common sense approach to some of the answers. If you're not, then we need to see how we're going to be able to challenge the status quo, be a part of whatever the city and the county and Mecklenburg is doing, and let's just be a voice for the people.
So I believe your question was, if you live in one of the 6 corridors of opportunity, what should you be asking for, right? The number one thing I think is, how can this authority decrease my time of travel? No one really likes to be in their car or in a bus or on the train. You're trying to get to your destination, do what you want to do, either work, spend more time at work, or be at home more time with your family. So how is this connected transportation system going to allow you to spend less time in travel and more time doing about what you care about? That's number one. Number two, what are going to be your access points on this robust transportation plan? Do you, if you are reliant on public transportation, will I still have to go down to the CTC to make a transfer, spend an hour, wait on a bus there, and then go someplace else, right? I grew up in Southside homes. My grandmother grew up in Boulevard homes. It took my grandmother an hour and a half to get from Boulevard homes to Southside homes because she took the bus. So she'd go down to the square, wait, and then take a bus over to Southside. How can we reduce those connection points and nodes so that you can take fewer transfers and spend less time in public transportation? Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So I believe that the proposed tax is very regressive and will not really address the bigger issue at this point of bus transportation. That is something that could be addressed with a 25-cent Mecklenburg County tax that would be passable, just locally without the state being involved. The proposed plan by the state is to satisfy the state lawmakers. It's very road dependent, and I don't believe it really satisfies our needs. But if it passes and if this plan goes forward, what will the plan be to protect the neighborhoods that the lines will go through? Because it will spur development and create a lot of displacement. So what do you think can be done to prevent that?
I think I'm first this time. Okay. So I can speak to the city of Charlotte. I can't speak to the other towns or what the county's planning on. But for what the city of Charlotte has planned on, within our $100 million housing trust fund, we've allocated monies for displacement. We've allocated money for purchasing land along transit lines for TOD-related activities. And so the city of Charlotte has already been looking at how we can do that, as well as lessons learned from the development of the Blue Line years ago. Our Department of Transportation has looked at some of the ways we could improve over the last couple of decades, and so that is built into the city of Charlotte's approach to it. But I just want to underscore one more time, if this referendum passes, it won't be Charlotte City Council making these decisions. We can make investments in certain areas, but as it relates to transportation, it will be this authority who will make the decisions. Charlotte City Council will not make any decisions whatsoever as it relates to transportation, with the exception of roads, because we still will take care of Charlotte roads. So Charlotte Department of Transportation for our roads will remain with the city of Charlotte.
Ms. Henderson, did you have, would you like to respond?
So again, we want all things to work together for the good of mankind. When we talk about the housing plan or the housing trust fund, well, I do believe that we need to pour more funding into it. We have to be able to show how we're able to at least get that portion of it done. We need to make sure that we let me take that word off, but lobby or advocate for us to go to the state and see how we can make a difference there, because locally now, we don't have a lot of choice. We're governed by a high authority, so we need to make sure that we bring them back in. Make sure that we are looking at our state representatives and start asking them those hard questions, because of course the city doesn't have all of the answers. They just have a portion of it. And then the authority, we need to, and I always bring it back to you, make sure you understand what that is. That's an opportunity for you to get involved, to be part of the decision making, making sure that we have an opportunity to know what are they talking about from a simple standpoint. I can't express it enough. Being involved, being engaged, you'll get more insight, you'll understand more. And challenge the status quo. Start pushing back. Stop allowing people to tell you what they're going to do for you if you have not ever had an opportunity to tell them what you're looking for. It's people over politics, not politics over the people. So be a part of the change that you want to see by asking questions. And if you don't know what it is, why don't you ask? Be a part of that.
All right, we have April, Pat, Ms. Mary, then Shay.
This question is for you, Danté. Now, you just said we're a world-class city. A lot of us don't see that. Because when you got people that's living in their cars, like you mentioned, and kids are on the platform downtown, you get ready to do this transportation thing. How much safety and how much of that tax money gonna go into safety? Because no one in here is really taking the public transportation. We don't take it because it's not safe. Now, one time, anyone, not just you, some of these other city council members have not mentioned.
Okay,
safety.
come on, April, we got it. I got it. No.
I believe that's the council.
Okay, I say Danté.
Only, I believe she addressed it only. If you-
Yeah.
You only want me to answer it?
I said Danté.
Okay, because we were going back and forth, I just want to be clear. I'm happy to answer it. The tax, this penny sales tax is for transportation. So 0% of that penny sales tax will be allocated towards overall public safety.
Ms. Cannon?
As current district representative or soon to be new district representative, how important is it to have a good working relationship or good working relationships with the mayor and other city council members in order to get things done on behalf of the city? And are there one or two members of the council and mayor you have strained relationships with now? And what are you doing, or what will you do to better that relationship for the common good of the city and the people that reside within it?
Is that for each panelist?
It says, as current district representative.
As current district.
And potentially new district representative. So for both. Thank you.
Ms. Henderson, I believe is on you.
You said don't lie. Oh, wow. Well, that question, I mean, it's a question that needs a great answer. I'm willing, as a community advocate, someone who really is boots on the ground, understanding the dire needs of inclusivity, I'm willing to reach across the aisles with whoever would like to make sure that they get whatever we need accomplished. For the good of mankind, I'm here. And all I can do is say that we need a common sense approach to any answer that is out here. Not speaking over people's heads where the terminology they can't understand the terminology, but it's an opportunity for us to be inclusive. I stand here because I'm that inclusivity for you. I'm your voice, and if you have a question, if you want to be in depth more with the city, and I am on that council, you know you have a voice. I won't shun you away, but I'll be a part of the solution to the problems. I have these books over here, I mean, like literally, I ask questions, and your question has been answered one way or the other in these pamphlets that I carry. People have a lot of questions, and of course, me not being a part of the city at the moment, I won't be able to answer exactly how you want it, but I guarantee you, once I'm on that council, oh, you will have a voice, top tier voice.
Oh, could you turn it off, Charlene? Could you turn that
the feedback.
off?
Thank you for the question. You know, I think that's it's a professional question. And certainly I share with you, I spent over 25 years in corporate America. I've worked as a management consultant. I've gone into hostile work environments to solve problems. And you have to be able to work with every single person. You do that by listening first and being available. And so I believe, if you have different information, you can keep me honest, but I believe I'm the very first district rep to ever serve as the mayor pro tem for the city of Charlotte. And the mayor pro tem is voted by elected members of council. So my colleagues saw it fit for me to serve in the function of Mayor Pro Tem, which just simply means I serve as a liaison between the office of the mayor and the council, and I'm able to elevate and advocate for council concerns in different rooms and spaces where all 11 members of council can't be there. So I think from my experience on being on council, I think you can tap certain council members who we quite often vote opposite sides of, and they'll tell you, oh, I called Danté up. She helped me walk through this problem I was facing. I was telling her I had this challenge with communications with the officer of the mayor. She helped me figure out how to navigate through that. So I could go council member by council member by council member and give you examples of we're quite often on opposite sides of the voting end, but we work together when we're not on that dais to make sure that we're getting to a better answer. The last piece of it is you have to be a part of any communications environment. It can't always be someone chasing you, trying to talk at you. You have to make yourself open and available to listen and then to engage and interact. And if you have that, then you're gonna have a successful communication relationship.
And so just to be clear, there are no strained relationships.
We'll come back, we'll put you back on there, okay? We're gonna put you back on here, okay? You know, we don't do.
I know better.
You know, yeah. That's all right. Okay, I have the next question, and my question is for Ms. Henderson. Ms. Henderson, you've done great work in Hidden Valley, and I know the work that you've done over there. But could you tell me what other areas of Charlotte District 1 encompasses, and what are their needs?
Okay. It's a lot of questions, it's a lot. Yeah, So, let me just go back, I just gotta find this one piece of the puzzle. District 1 does not only encompass Hidden Valley, okay? It encompasses Plaza Midwood, Parkwood, Marsh Road, Noda, Villa Heights, Dealworth, Eastway, Shamrock, Graham Street, Central Uptown, Kenilworth, Briarwood, North Charlotte, which you're in right now. I want to get that out of the way. So when I tell you the concerns, and I have to put them on different sheets of color of paper, and it's not just 1 or 2 sheets, if you've noticed. I'm not someone that just sit at a table and push a pencil. I'm someone who gets out, boots on the ground, making sure that I talk to the constituents, hearing their concerns and their problems. There are a lot of concerns about pedestrian safety. There's a lot of concerns about rapid development, gentrification, local business loss. There's a lot of things that I can tell you about Midwood. There's a lot of things that I can say about Sedgefield and Dealworth. Not only do we have crime and violence on our side of town, they want to understand why there's so many bike lanes. Also, while there's not enough bike lanes. They want to know different things of how their property tax is going to be tapped into. There are some issues. We can't keep saying it's a world-class city when we have world-class issues. So we talk about concerns and problems. Each color that you see, that's more than 3 pages of issues and concerns that I've walked around to these businesses, literally, in a heel, a stiletto, or boots on the ground. This is what the issues are, and I'm here to help solve some of those issues with a common sense approach again. Not policy, but common sense approach from a community standpoint. We have the answers, believe me. I've talked, I've listened. Now it's time for us to have someone who can lead from a common sense approach, not just policy.
All right.
Thank you. Don't I get a chance? Yeah. And thank you for the question. It's a wonderful question, and trust me, I don't need any colored pieces of paper to answer it, because I've been in just about every community in District 1 before I was sitting in the seat and while I've been sitting in the seat. So if we start with Hidden Valley, wonderful community. I used to want to live in Hidden Valley when I was a kid, but how have I showed up for Hidden Valley? Well, Hidden Valley wanted more sidewalks, they wanted more lights. They wanted certain motels to be torn down and transformed into vibrant, for sale, affordable housing to fit the texture of that community. I was there for them. When there was a rezoning petition to change the aesthetic of Hidden Valley, the leadership came to me and said, Danté, we don't want this. The council voted unanimously with me to stave off that development from happening because they understood my dedication and connection to Hidden Valley. When NODA and South End and Uptown and Plaza Midwood say, hey Danté, we're having a problem with street vendors, it's creating potential opportunities for crime. I got the council to stand up a vending pilot program that's in flight right now in NODA. When Plaza Midwood and Villa Heights and Plaza Shamrock said, hey Danté, Matheson Avenue is a high injury network. It's difficult for us to walk around, ride our bikes, drive. You can drive up there right now. The reimagining of the Matheson streetscape is going on right now. When the city of Charlotte said, we don't have a medical school and we need Tech Hub to be here, the Pearl is being stood up right now with opportunities for the neighborhood and community to take a part in that without having any 2 or 4 year degree or even being interested in having a medical degree. The Performance Enhancement Center for the Charlotte Hornets is being put in uptown with medical access for uptown residents. So if you drive from the top of District 1 to the bottom, you're driving over 14 miles. Direct street miles, hundreds and hundreds of residents. Thank you.
I too thought people in Hidden Valley had it going on in the 80s and 90s growing up in Charlotte. So you were rich. That was Bel Air. All right, we got Shay.
My question is pretty quick, but and pretty pointed is what I don't hear about is the money, the windfall for the Crescent. This tax. This transportation system is going to bring billions of dollars, millions. But how is the Crescent being built into that earning potential? How are we going to make sure that the folks that live in the Crescent are going to get their pockets fat too, working on this transit money?
So, all I can say, you have to be empowered. I'm a teacher by trade. So a lot of times we do not understand it until we see something. If you see something, say something, that is the main thing. The word is empowering yourselves to make sure that we be a part. We can no longer just sit back and just say they oughta. We have to be empowered to come and challenge the status quo. I want to be your representative because I am your voice. I've heard you. I've heard the cries. I'm a citizen of this great city of Charlotte. How can I sit back and just allow certain things to take place and I know that it's not right? From my heart, when we go into these churches and we stand before God, it's not right. So we got to be able to challenge the heart piece of this thing. And I know that people are like, stop wearing your heart on your sleeve. Well, sometimes we're going to have to dig deep and understand that the policies that are being made without us at the table. And if we cannot be at that particular table, well, as a collective, we're going to have to make our own table. Because apparently we're not saving ourselves. We're not saving ourselves, and I have to make sure that we're doing that. And it should be lots of people up here running for office. If you do not like what you see, make a stand and do something different. I don't care whether you made it in. I'll run 1,000 times if I have to. In order for you to know and understand that I stand on business. I started with one side of a community. 30 seconds. I started with one side of a community and showed you what I could do with just no resources. So just allow me to be able to get some resources, and let's see a real change. Let's see a real difference that can be shifted, because you'll have an opportunity to help shift and make a change in that area that you live in. Because we're doing it over there in Hidden Valley. But where you live, you need the same opportunities, and we've proven that over and over again. So let's shift it. Tap me in.
Thank you for the question. I want to answer your question directly, right? So I think your question was around crescent and the wedge. How can we ensure that you play a part in this transit tax and the benefits that will come from it as it relates to development? So a couple of things. I know, once again, I can only speak for the city of Charlotte, but we have, as we were deliberating around this, we were very clear-eyed about the fact that we want to get minority-owned and women-owned businesses into the development of the build-out of the infrastructure. And we have a plan to do so, and a commitment to do so. And so as we make appointments to this board, we are going to ensure that the people that we are appointing to the board will stand that up and will abide by those principles. So if you look at the crescent and the wedge as well, and who's getting what, the wedge is getting the least amount out of what is proposed currently within the actual layout and footprint of the transportation plan. So the crescent will be getting the highest impact, and that's intentional based on historically what has been done. So in terms of rail, bus lines, microtransit, those aspects of this plan, the majority of the footprint of that sits within the crescent, and the city of Charlotte has committed to ensuring that small business owners will have an opportunity for some of the cash windfall as it relates to the construction and development of that infrastructure. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll stand up since you getting around. A lot of talk about money and tax and everything like that every time you give. A lot of talk about money and tax. What I'm curious of is District 1 has affluent and not so affluent areas. What are you going to do? And I want to hear about what's already there. What are you going to do to help the children in these areas that's not so affluent going forward? Because the city's going to grow. Roads have to get bigger. Buses have to get better.
Time.
Yes, ma'am.
Nick?
I think, Charlene.
Thank you. Is it me or?
You just answered. Okay. Yeah, it's Ms. Henderson.
What are we going to do? Again, I can just say, when we're talking about children, that's my heart. I have a small business, and when you take your small business, I'm a hairstylist by trade, when you take your small business, my small business, and turn it into a school for young girls who may not have the opportunity to learn how to do hair. Well, I've done some of the work with workforce development at an early age, giving them an opportunity to have a program that's for them, getting them off the streets. I can take my own hair, I can only work with what I have. But just imagine if I have that double time, what we all can do in building up the infrastructure of workforce for our children. If we don't give them things to do, programs for them to play and be and do, it's going to get worse. The crime gets worse, understanding job development, giving them, it's so much that we can do out here. We just have to have the opportunity to do it. And I do believe if you allow me to get in there, again, I keep saying tap me in, because I come with common sense approaches, and a lot of times policy go over the heads of a lot of people. Break it down, make it simple, and let's see how we can be that change. So I can only speak for what I've done. And what I've done has really impacted this city, impacted it from a very strategic standpoint, also from a growth standpoint, making sure that we're able to get them working. Workforce development is real. So I thank you for the opportunity and the question. If I did not answer it to your satisfaction, we can take it offline, and I can actually really go down into depth of, I do have a small plan. My plan may not be big and glamorous at this particular moment, but I guarantee you it's something in here for every last one of you who have stood up, made a voice for yourself, asked the hard questions, and I began to start getting those answers.
Thank you for the question. I can tell you two things that I will be taking a part of in the future. So one of the things that we've brought up to our city manager is we need better opportunities to invest in our youth, although that's not right core in the wheelhouse of Charlotte City Council. So, but what we did do in June is we passed a budget that allows for the Office of Youth Opportunities to be stood up within the city of Charlotte. It's brand new. It's going to be stood up starting this month, and it will be built out over the next several months. And it's focused specifically on youth age 13 through 24 who reside in those 6 corridors of opportunity. Because again, to your point, we have to connect opportunity for reskilling, upskilling, trades, activities for those youth so they can have a better option. So that's something that's going on right now that we will be leaning into. I have 2 corridors of opportunity within District 1. So I have over a third of the corridors of opportunity that I will be investing in. The other thing that we have started, but we're going to continue to grow, is allowing CMS students to have an opportunity for employment with the city of Charlotte directly out of CMS. Once they graduate, they can come into a good paying job with the city of Charlotte. We started that program. We doubled the attendance this year. In terms of the recipients, it's only going to continue to double. So access to employment, it starts with that. It starts with, do you have access to employment? You have the ability to earn funds, and then you can build out from there. But I have some time, so I want to share a little story with you because shout out to is my time up? Oh man, I thought I had time. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, we have a question from an online viewer. Gail asked, name one tangible or visible thing each of you has done to demonstrate your service to the residents of Charlotte and an original concept you would introduce to council if elected.
Well, I'm a Charlotte native, born and raised. I love this city so much. There's so much that I've done to contribute to the city of Charlotte. One thing in particular, I mentioned my grandmother lived in Boulevard Homes. I spent weekends over there with my cousins, with my grandmother, and then we would go to the House of Prayer on the Ford in the church bus and spend all day in church. But I came home one time and the Boulevard Homes was flat when I was leaving the airport. And it touched me, like literally I had an emotional reaction. Tears started to roll down my eyes because of my memories with Boulevard Homes. And I started to research what's gonna happen in that space and found out that Renaissance West Community Initiative was gonna be stood up there with affordable housing, but also a CMS school and also a senior living facility, as well as a recreational center. And I wanted to be a part of that because that space helped shape me. And so I've served on the board of Renaissance West over the last 6 years, helping to raise money, helping to shape the programs for that school, volunteering in the school, making sure that the residents there had opportunity to better transportation, to better accesses to reskilling and upskilling programs, and feel really great about the work that I've done there. I've tapped out, and so I've turned down my time, They've asked me to continue serving on the marketing committee to make sure you all understand what's going on in Renaissance West and a purpose-built community, so we can have others stood up throughout the city of Charlotte. So I'm continuing to do that work. That's just one. If you wanna talk to me afterwards, I can tell you all the other things I've been doing. Thank you.
All right, we have Mr. Gerald Petty. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Henderson.
Right. So.
Microphone.
Mic check. So if everyone has a phone in their hand or somewhere near a tablet, go to charlenehenderson.com. charlenehenderson.com will give you an overview of all of the things that I've done to accomplish what I have set out to do. And it's not just an I, it's a we, it's a team. So when I say team, I literally, when we say build bridges, connect bridges, literally go onto that page and it shows you how we were able to connect a dilapidated bridge in a community that has been forgotten. That meant we reached across the aisle, we built up partnerships with the city, county, equipment companies like Steel, Lowe's, Home Depot. They saw the need only because I opened up my mouth and said that there was an issue. There's a problem over here and we need the help. And all people have to do, all you have to do is ask. And people, if they're willing and they have it in their heart, they will do. So we built a bridge, and it's on my page. Go check it out. It's on my page to show you a dilapidated bridge that has been rebuilt. That's just one thing. Areas where there's trash, debris. I don't know what it was yesterday, but it was a police crackdown on Sugar Creek and Reagan Drive. When I went back over there, that place was cleared out. That's because we advocated, we pushed, we rallied, we brought town halls, we gathered the people together. Strongly together, we can get a lot of things accomplished, but you have to stand up, you have to be what? Yeah, I need it. It has to be what? Empowered. That means if you're not speaking loud, that means you're not really empowering. Let's start to speak loud. Let's be bold in what we're doing. That's just two of the things. I can go on and on and on about what I've done. But visit my website, charlenehenderson.com, and it'll give you what you need.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Mr. Petty.
This question is for both, but if Mayor Pro Tem could answer first, I'd appreciate it. And it deals with economic development. I know the Economic Development Committee is considering a $25 million renovation budget to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I do this now. How can you ensure that it's an equitable distribution of city funding for all communities, particularly East Charlotte? Right now, the Charlotte Museum of History is struggling in terms of their budget. How can you ensure that those marginalized communities are receiving an equitable distribution of city funding to benefit the citizens of that community?
That's a good question.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. And before I answer the question, I just want to say shout out to Charles Robinson for all the advocacy that he's been doing on Reagan Drive to bring visibility to that area. But, I sat through that committee meeting yesterday, and I'm not on any committees. As a mayor pro tem, I'm kind of ex officio, so I sit through all of them, but I don't get a vote on any of them. And I sat through that presentation. I can tell you firsthand, I am the voice that has been, myself and Councilmember Molina, we both have been advocating for a Charlotte Museum of History. We were able to get $100,000 for the Charlotte Museum of History in this last budget, but also connecting Ms. White, who runs the museum, to some community resources that will help with some of the infrastructure issues they have, so they don't have to spend some of their capital outlay on that. But it's it's a gem in the community. So we got to protect the Charlotte Museum of History. It sits in District 1, but it's right there on the edge of District 5, District 1. That's why CN Molina and I have been working very closely for that. Charlotte Museum of History is also not on the list of our blue blood arts institutions here. So they don't get that money that's allocated through the Foundation for Carolinas. I've been fighting for them to be on that list. I brought it as a vote last year for Charlotte City Council. It didn't meet the 6 votes in order to get on that list. So we have to protect them. We have to keep fighting for them. And like I said, I sat through that presentation for the $25 million, but I don't have a vote on that committee. And as far as what I understand, it was for information only yesterday. So clearly, council did not vote on that yesterday. I saw a report that said that we did, and that was inaccurate. We did not vote on that as a full council.
I wouldn't be able to afford to go over there. Just like I wouldn't be able to afford to go to the stadium where they voted that $650 million to go to a billionaire. I can't afford it. So these are the things that we have to really look at when it comes up. You have to be in front of it, not behind it. I can't afford the luxury of flying here and flying there because I'm not a part of the in crowd. But I guarantee you, those fundings that are being allocated or voted upon, I don't think my conscience would allow it to move as swiftly as things are being moved. I want to make sure that we all have a part in the decision of where our funds go. If we're taxpayers, as a taxpayer, you have to know where your taxes are being shifted. Without us, we're just gonna stay in an impoverished state. And that's not what we want. We want equal access. We want fairness across the board. We want to be able to have a ticket, at least one ticket a year where we can afford to go to any of these places. Because I know I can't afford it at the moment. I don't know about y'all, but I can't afford it. So what do we do? How can a free ticket every now and then wouldn't hurt, would it? You will want to. I don't even know what it looked like. Couldn't afford to get in there. So again, it's about fairness across the board. It's about being a part of a situation or a system that does not include us. And if I'm on the board, once I'm there, I will guarantee you an opportunity to make sure you get a free ticket at least once a year, or even just to visit it. Those are things that I can't say can happen. Listen, small, low-hanging fruit is what we need. Thank you.
We have Rodney.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Okay, the question I have is, since we've seen these taxes come out before in the different bigger cities like Philly or Chicago or Baltimore, I want to know, has they taken a look at over a 10-year, 5-year period, what this 1 cent tax is going to do to the lower income community? Have you heard anything about it? Are they going to increase jobs? Are they going to cut jobs? Can you tell us anything about that, looking at other cities that already did this before?
Well, to be honest, I have not. I have heard of opportunities from other cities and states. But I know that some of them are working and some of them are not. Everything's not going to be perfect. So I just have to kind of hand this over to you, Ms. Danté.
No, ma'am.
No? You have an opportunity to speak. I'm just saying. But the opportunity lies within. So, of course, I'm going to be honest. I've heard, but I have not did the exact homework that needs to be done in those areas. But they do work because I've heard them work.
Thank you for the question. And yes, I have heard of the activities in other cities. And shout out to Robert Dawkins, because he shared lots of information about what's going on in other cities. And of course, we've heard it from staff as well. And so I am aware of the activities in other cities. One of the things I want to share with you about the city of Charlotte and the state of North Carolina is the state of North Carolina is a Dillon rule state, and the city of Charlotte has to govern under the governance that our General Assembly provides to us. So when we are comparing ourselves to other cities, we compare ourselves, we have a list of peer cities that we look at in terms of like growth and economics and jobs. But we have to make sure that from a governance perspective, that they are a similar type of state that has to abide by the rules of a similar type of governance. So we're a Dillon rule state. To be very honest with you, the General Assembly has a lot of control in what the city of Charlotte can or cannot do. But I'm gonna go back to this fact because I wanna just make sure that we're clear-eyed about this. If the referendum passes, the transit authority, not the city of Charlotte, the transit authority will be responsible for policy and governance of our transportation system, okay? The CATS, the entity of CATS as it sits today, will transfer into this transit authority. So it won't really be about what city council is doing and how we're going to manage it. It will be this transit authority that will be managing the system. Thank you.
All right. We have Will.
We have many more questions, but then we need to shorten the responses.
Yes, actually now, we're gonna take questions, still 30 seconds, but response is 1 minute.
Good morning. Will Holly. My question is, what's your safety plan for areas? Like you said earlier, you said Dilworth problem is bike lanes. But a lot of people over there in Sugar Creek are worried about when they sleep at night, the house getting shot up. And you said something that they wouldn't clean the area up. But I guarantee that back in the day. So what I'm saying is like, what is y'all like long-term safety plan? I mean, infrastructure and riding the bus, I mean, I get that, that's cool, but like the longevity of keeping everybody safe and feel comfortable because some people are scared to talk for themselves because they're elderly and retired. So who's gonna stand up for them? That's all I'm asking.
So the safety plan for District 1 is unique and different depending on where you stay. You mentioned Dilworth, and there are other neighborhoods in District 1 that don't have the same type of issues that other neighborhoods do have, right? Some neighborhoods have issues of, hey, folks are leaving their computers in their car and they're leaving their door unlocked and they're mad that their computers are getting stolen out of their car. This is real that I'm making up. I'm not making it up, that I've heard from residents. You go to other parts of District 1, very, very different. Very, very different. So it has to be nuanced based on exactly where you live in District 1. You also mentioned the Sugar Creek corridor, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that because the community of Sugar Creek worked forever on this playbook for the corridor of opportunity. And the corridor of opportunity is a 3-mile stretch from, and your way of saying that is time, but it's a 3-mile stretch, and we can speak more about that later. Thank you.
Again, it is true that there are different issues on different sides of town. This is why I travel those sides of town to understand the issues in the downhard areas that are in need of services. We're talking about partnerships. We definitely have to partner with law enforcement to make sure that we have an opportunity to grow. And today is National Night Out Day, and we're really helping the first responders and showing that we do care about their services. So that's number one. And then we also have to make sure that we partner with organizations that really are about the business. There are some great organizations that really tap into what the community needs. And I see a few of you out there. I wouldn't be able to shout you out, but I see you and I see the work that you're doing, and you need more resources in order to make a bigger difference. Those are the two main things that I can see. Partnerships with law enforcement and making sure that organizations have the right resources so that they can continuously carry on their business.
All right, I have a question. Ms. Natalie, don't stop me. I'm trying. This is a point of privilege. As executive director of Applesauce Group, each of our annual festivals, the Great West Side Fish Fry and the Vibe Called Fresh, attracts upwards of 7,000 attendees, leading to enhanced foot traffic and direct economic engagement to small businesses along the Badersford corridor. However, our efforts to scale into a street festival to showcase the beautiful, unique culture of our historic community have been stalled by a CMPD officer shortage. How can we find creative solutions to celebrate Charlotte's amazing communities within the trending shortage of available off-duty police officers?
Well, I mean, that was a mouthful. It was. However, I do believe that there's an opportunity to, as a small business, as an organization, you have to be able to have your own security. You have to reach in your pocket just a little deeper and begin to say, you know what, this is my business, my organization. How am I going to protect it? How am I going to be able to get what I need out of it? So, personally, we're gonna have to do what we have to do sometimes. It gets a little hard and taxing, but you gotta come out of your pocket in order to make sure that your added security is there.
Well, shout out to the good work that you do on the forward. That's amazing. Every year that you have that effort. So keep doing it. We do have a shortage of police officers. That gap is shortening. However, I'll be completely honest with you, we have a point where there are going to be several officers who are retiring because they're reaching that threshold. So we got to backfill even more. But I think one solution is to tap into some of the retired police officers to see if they're able to work some of these festivals and some of these street fairs. Many of them want to be a part of the community still after they get their month or so of rest. They want to come back and continue to be a part. So I think that's one opportunity that we can look into.
All right, we have Petronza.
Good morning. So my question is directed to Danté. So as I go knock on doors every day, communities as the Hampshire Hills, Shannon Park, Milton Road, these residents are very upset because they don't know who their representatives are. So my question to you is, when I do go to like areas, Park Road, Midwood, they know you. But for the community that's underserved, how can you support them moving forward with the low income, historical and underserved community, because they are hurting and they feel that they don't know who their representatives are? How would you help them?
Absolutely, and I was just with Shannon Park on Saturday with Coach and stood in front of the community for over 30 minutes answering questions similar to this. And actually, when that terrible tragedy occurred in Shannon Park, myself and Commissioner Jarrell and Chair Sneed stopped everything we were doing and held a vigil for the community at Weeping Willow, right there very close to Shannon Park and right off Milton Road. And I go out to Bridlewood all the time. I know that the Hampshire Hills president of the neighborhood association knows exactly who I am. She talks to me all the time. A part of Hampshire Hills, though, sits in District 5. And so, again, sometimes when you split neighborhoods based on precincts, voting precincts, you have split representation. So I don't spend a whole lot of time in parts of Hampshire Hill because they're not in my district, but in the other part of Hampshire Hill and Bridlewood, absolutely.
All right, now we have Dr. Tommy Watkins.
Good morning, Dr. Tommy Watson here. Hey, quick question here. So gentrification is happening all across the nation here, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen by home ownership. one of the things that people tap into now is gentrification by rentership. How can we teach our communities that they don't necessarily need to sell their homes, but to take advantage of the high rent prices and demand, keep their homes, take the equity out, find another location, and keep the property.
Ms. Henderson.
That is an opportunity. That's a great opportunity. And I was just speaking to one of the developers in a real estate company, and they were talking exactly that. We need to be re-educated on the equity in our home. We need to understand the land that is on. We can own the house. We can own all homes and all townhomes, but it's the land that is the most powerful. That is what they're looking for. They can build it up, knock it down, they'll do it 1,000 times. But if you tap into it, I would say tap into it, you're able to bring yourself up from an economic standpoint by pulling the equity out of your home and taking that equity and going over here and purchasing something where you can upkeep, what is that word? Where you can remodify it and continuously build wealth from that standpoint. There's an opportunity, and I have it. There's an opportunity to be doing that. And so we're wanting that to happen all over if you're a homeowner.
I think you make an excellent point. And last year, the city of Charlotte actually stood up a program to help educate residents out throughout the entire city, not just District 1, on how they could do so. The other thing that we're doing too is we have started an ADU pilot, an accessory dwelling unit that will allow residents to build an attachment to their home that will provide supplemental income and allow them to stay in their home and protect their homes longer. That pilot is going on in District 1, right up the street in Villa Heights and Belmont. We have 2 options going on. And so after that pilot, we'll then take that learnings and then roll it out to the broader city. But I think you make a fantastic point.
All right, guys. All right, y'all, we have 6 minutes and 6 questions. We have Samir, Robin, Ken, Patrick, Jackie, Robert. All right, let's go ahead. Mr. Candy, you no longer have questions? All right, let's go with Samir.
Good morning, my name is Samir again. I'm running as an unaffiliated candidate for mayor representing young people who don't vote. So my question primarily is about Charlotte's identity. Like, I feel like Charlotte's being known for banks and breweries, and young people aren't, attracted to the city. What do you want Charlotte to be known for, and what do you feel like it's known for now, and is that the same or different?
Yeah, that also is an awesome question. I was just at a restaurant the other night ordering some food to go, and there's a guy who had just moved here from upstate New York. And he was so thrilled to be in Charlotte. He was so excited about all the activities. We were at this restaurant, and he was talking to me about how good this burger is. It's the best burger he's ever eaten, right? And he was just very, very excited that he had made that move from Rochester, New York to Charlotte. And we talked earlier about Charlotte being a place of destination. That's what we want. We want people, regardless of what you're into. If you love basketball, if you love to knit, whatever you like to do, we want you to be able to find a community here that will embrace you and allow you to enjoy your recreations and have a good opportunity to earn a good paying job. So I think that's what Charlotte's identity needs to be. It's not simply about banks anymore. We're a tech hub. We are a place of destination. Walk down South End. You'll see so many different walks of life there that are into everything.
Well, I know that born and raised right here, I've seen it build up and I've seen it tear down. The tear down comes from our culture being torn down. We have to make sure that our history is still being built up. That means to talk. That means to make sure that the schools have what it needs to talk about our history. Because if we don't, we're going to lose out on a lot of the young people understanding and knowing who they are and what they represent. Rich culture for me, is love, L-O-V-E. That is an action word. An action word means to love on your mankind, because that's what we used to do. Talk to your neighbors. Let's begin to start doing that again. And the cohesiveness, that's just being in tune with your neighbor, just being in tune with each other. And destination, dropping off someone from buses that is unhoused and keep building up a community where people don't have a place to live. That's another issue. So these are some of the issues and things that I see that can work and that are not working. But we have to be together and making sure we make a difference in those.
All right, Robin.
Good morning, Robin Emmons, running for Charlotte City Council as an unaffiliated candidate. I'm interested to know if the referendum does not pass for, I'm sorry, thank you. If the referendum for the 1 cent increase does not pass, what can we expect for our city, as a city? Also, if it does pass, what are some of the resources that are available for residents who are concerned about gentrification, increased taxes, displacement? If you could speak to that, both of you. Thank you.
They do the best they can in 1 minute. That's 30 minutes.
All right, I believe it's on. Charlene, Ms. Henderson.
So that 1 cent sales tax is always an issue. And again, I say that it's going to affect us for the rest of our lives. Our opportunities is to stand with the city and see how we're going to be able to make a difference in that. That means our voice needs to be heard. The displacement piece of it, I only have but so many answers in the capacity that I sit at this moment. All I can tell you is be a part of whatever the conversations are. Make sure that you hold people accountable and make sure that they're transparent with the answers and not having sidebar conversations and come to us and make it look beautiful and sweet with bells and whistles. Be a part of the situation that's going on. Be the voice that you need to see and hear. That is what I can say in 30 seconds.
Could you turn the mic on?
Yes,
ma'am. Thank you for the question, Ms. Emmons. First part of your question, what happens if the referendum doesn't pass? Well, then it doesn't pass. And if you all ask for improvements to our CATS transportation plan, then the residents of Charlotte will be paying for those improvements, not the residents of Mecklenburg County. CATS is backed by the residents of Charlotte today. If the referendum passes, the residents of Mecklenburg County will share that burden. So that's the first part of your question. If it does pass and you talk about gentrification, as I mentioned, Charlotte has money allocated to stave off gentrification along certain corridors. That's what we have planned. I can't speak to the other towns or what the county has planned. Thank you.
All right, we have Ms. Combs.
Thank you so much for referencing the West End and the West Boulevard strip, because the wagon gets the noise and Bates Ford Road gets a whole lot of it. So my
I got 30 seconds, let him use his 30 seconds.
So my question to you is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate those corridors in reference to how they are effectively being considered in requests that they make, things that they set as their priorities? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate each one of them, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest? This is for Danté.
So we have 6 corridors of opportunity, and we started with Batesford Road being the very first one to be in flight. All 6 were not in flight at the same time. One of the ones that are in District 1 is the North Tryon Graham Street corridor, which we've just solidified that playbook as well. And then there's another one that's on the west side on Freedom Drive that is also in solidifying their playbook. And so I don't think you can rate them in terms of their asks, because the touch points with the community have been staggered 2 at a time over a year phase. So Batesford Road is much further along than the North Tryon Graham Street. So it would be very difficult to rate it now, but If you go forward maybe in 2 years where all 6 of them are in flight, and you can see some results from all 6, then I think it will be a better time to answer your question.
All right, Robert's going to close us out with a question. Wills only to Danté. So Robert's going to, in interest of time, Robert's going to close us out with this question. Then you can have a minute to give us a closing statement.
This question is actually to you, Ms. Charlene. Let me stand up again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. I would like to know this. You spoke quite a bit about common sense, and not so much policy. How is your knowledge on policy? And the other part of that is, do you have a mentor or somebody that's helping you if you're not up on policy? Because you're gonna have to know policy.
Thank you for that question. To a certain degree, I do understand and know policy, but policy over people is the issue. Those are the things that we need to understand. We have an array of people that sit on the council that understand policy, but do they understand community? Do they understand that we are policy? These people that you're talking to, I am the policy. And we have people who are governing us because we're not saying and doing what we're supposed to do. Now, common sense means that if something comes up, I want to be at the table to understand it so that those who do not understand policy as well will be able to understand policy. Just remember, I'm very educated. I learn quick. I am an understanding person when it comes down to both sides of the world. We can't keep talking about policy if community is not a part of it.
All right, Ms. Henderson, you want to go ahead with while you're standing, go into your 1 minute closing statement?
Well, my closing statement is very simple. I keep telling you to tap me in because I'm transparent. I have that opportunity to be transparent because if you can ask me anything, I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? My opportunity as well as making sure that we have everything that we need in the city. And that's just being at the table, understanding what policy is from a basic standpoint. Tap me in because you will have a seat at that table. I'm a citizen, like I said, but I'm also someone who really, truly want that policy to represent all people in all fairness. I am a proven leader. I've led for a very long time. Just look, and I keep saying, look me up. Go to my website. Be a support to me. That way, if you know policy, guess what? You're gonna be standing right here, helping me out, making sure that we have a voice for our community, and it's my time. But also, Charlene Henderson, I am running for City Council District 1, and I do believe that we need a new, fresh perspective on what District 1 looks like.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I want to be very clear that Charlotte City Council is a policy creating board. That's what we do. We assess policy, we evaluate policy, and we stand up policy every single week of the month. The only board that meets 4 times throughout the month. So it's dangerous to potentially put someone in a seat that can stand up and create policy and they're not familiar with policy. What you will end up is policy and laws that do not reflect who you are and who we are as a fast-growing city. I'm a Charlotte native, born and raised. I grew up in public housing, and then I have pretty much lived in every pocket of the city because I was housing unstable. I was able to pivot my outcome by focusing on academic and athletics and come back to serve my city after spending over 25 years in corporate America and being civically engaged. I humbly ask for your opportunity to serve District 1 again, DantéForCharlotte.com, Danté Anderson, CLT, on most of the social media platforms. Thank you so much for your time and engagement this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our candidates, our incumbent. If you got somewhere to go, we totally understand. You can please leave quietly, but we will go into announcements. If you have an announcement, please raise your hand and Jasmine will bring a mic to you. Mr. Combs has an announcement.
As many of you know, our county attorney, James Ferguson, has passed. His funeral will be Thursday, 12 noon at the Park Church on Bailey'sford Road. And as many of you know, you don't get a chance to say things about the deceased at the funeral, but we are offering an opportunity at what we're calling closing arguments, memorial reception honoring the legacy of James Ferguson. It will be at 4 p.m. after the funeral at the Club Nile, which is located at 5741 North Graham Street as it converges to Sugar Creek. So it's free, open to the public, and as I've told Carlene, if you want people to come, tell them they're gonna eat, and we will have some refreshments for you.
Any other announcements? Oh, Ms. Sylvia.
I wanted to follow up. We had the Sugar Creek rally last Tuesday before last. We had a neighborhood meeting last Wednesday. We're making a lot of progress. We had 8 arrests yesterday and a quiet street. We're gonna follow up those other 2 events with an open house at Genesis Project Thursday, 11 to 3. And the community is invited. We always say we're down the hill, but people never come. So we want to open our doors with Charles Robinson, let folk know we're down the hill. Come and see who we are.
Thank you. Robert?
I just want to remind everyone to tap in Thursday morning, 8 a.m. to my radio show on WDRB Media, or Greater Seven Thoughts is my Instagram, or the untrackmind.com to access the show. This week we'll have Mr. Arnett, the father from the Forge.
Thank you, Robert. Mr. Pat?
So the East Charlotte community, sponsored by Charlotte East, is sponsoring a District 5 City Council Forum. It's this Thursday at 6 p.m. at SMS Catering on Norland Road in East Charlotte. So please come out and support this event.
All right, Ms. Henderson.
So today at 5 o'clock, 5 to 8, you see that the weather is a little tricky. So I don't think we're going to be out here on the grass. So it's going to be the Hidden Valleys National Night Out, which is the best of the best. Will be at the Seventh-day Adventist, which is right next to the park. Just so put your rain shoes on, bring your umbrellas, because we always have a great time. I hate that it's just not in our park today. So come out to Hidden Valley. We'll be in the gym from 5 to 8. Try to get there a little early. If you have a table and you want to set up, just get there a little early. We're still going to have fun. We have our wonderful MC that's going to be there standing in the back, Mr. Brandon Brown. Mr. Brandon Brown, he will be our MC out there. We have definitely the best time. So please come out. We'll be next door to the Tom Hunter Park if that rain stays raining all day.
All right, any other announcements, please send to Steve. Oh, Ms. Darnell. Ms. Darnell. Hold on, I'm bringing a mic to you.
My sister-in-law isn't here, and I did not bring the flyer, but I know that there's a back to school with CMS on August the 9th at the Truist Field for students, and everything is free, parking is free, food is free, and they'll have back to school items. I think the time is maybe 3 o'clock, but it's at Truist Field on August the 9th, a big event. Come out if you can.
All right, we're going to close us out with announcements. Any other announcements, send to Steve at S. Johnston with the T, to TuesdayForumCharlotte.org.
I will run the city council at large. I'm having an event Friday at Sophie's. It starts at 6 to 10. It's $30. I got the whole backbone of this private event. It's $30. You get free food, free cup of wine, and you're gonna meet some of the candidates that's running. And all the candidates come. I'll give them time, with no time limit. Just tell them how they feel when they pitch for them.
Watch out.
So,
No time with a cup of wine is dangerous now. Y'all better watch out. A cup of wild Irish Rose, the finest. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us at another exciting Tuesday morning forum. We will see you next week. We are locked into the political process all the way to September. Join us. We will have, where's Ms. Jackie to save me? Next week we will have candidates for District 2. District 2. 3. Jasmine, set me up. District 3 will be here. So thank you. Dr. Thomas, play us out.
Yep, I do want to make sure that, I'm sorry, one more quick announcement, you guys. One more quick announcement. I will be having my official kickoff at Tequila Bar this Thursday. So please tap in. Make sure you come out and support.